All right, here we go. Looking at the table of contents, there are one, two, three, four different sections of the book. So I'm only going to read the chapters in the table of contents from the first section of the book. This is going to take us throughout first quarter. And so the table of contents for the first section of the book, oops, let me go back. This book is anti-racist, written by Tiffany Jewell and illustrated by Aurelia Durand. Is going to be a big part of us building a classroom community that's safe for all students and also building learners and building citizens of Montgomery County, state of Maryland, United States of America that are aware of the injustices that are still around and work hard to overcome them. So section 1 is all about understanding your identity. Chapter 1 is Who Am I? Chapter 2 is What are my social identities? Chapter 3, What is race? What is ethnicity? Chapter 4, What is racism? Personal. Chapter 5, What is racism? Institutional. Those are two different things, and we're going to look at what all of this means and where we all fit in as elementary school students and what we can do to make things better. So we'll go through the other chapters in each section as we go from section to section. So just a note from the author. You will notice I have chosen to use folks instead of folks because it is a gender-neutral term created by activist communities, and I would like to honor everyone who reads this book. Replacing the KS with an X allows for every reader who has never been seen before to see themselves here. We'll capitalize Black, Brown, Indigenous, people of color, and folks of the global majority because I believe it is important to center the voices and lives of those who have been marginalized, silenced, and purposely left out of our history for so long. I am building solidarity in the language I choose. I do not use the term minority to describe Black, Brown, and Indigenous folks because we are the majority in the world. Using the language of racism can minimize our full selves. It can allow us to forget our deepest roots and ancestors. It allows us to create a history that, while in our own voices, has been shaped by the oppressor. Because race and our social identities are constructed by people, and often those with the privilege of having academia to back them up, we are often still caught in the trap of labeling ourselves in ways that center whiteness and those in the dominant culture. I ask you, when possible, please use the names and language that honor you, your family, and your history. Please use the names and language that honor those who are continually silenced and ignored, those who are renamed and have been stripped of their histories. Reclaim the language and names that were stolen and lost over decades. So this section I read on Tuesday, but I'll read it again for anyone who wasn't in class at that time. This is a note from the author. To all of you, I wrote this book for you. It's for everyone. The words on these pages are for our ancestors and those who should not yet be our ancestors, but who passed on too soon. I wrote this for you out of love for liberation and our humanity. This is a book I wish I'd had when I was younger, and it's the book I will share with my own children. It contains information I never learned when I was younger, and you will probably not be taught in school, except in Miss Mitchell's class. I wrote these words for you while carrying a heavy heart. It aches for Emmett Till, Tamir Rice, Corinne Gaines, Michael Brown, Eric Garner, Sandra Bland, Bobby Hutton, Antoine Rose Jr., Stephon Clark, Rakia Boyd, Stephen Lawrence, Charlena Lyles, Alton Sterling, Valandor Castillo, Ayanna Stanley Jones, and Trayvon Martin, and for all those we honor with hashtags our tears, our frustration and rage, our exhaustion, and the fire to move on. My optimism has brought me to action and to sharing these words with you because I believe that you will help to dismantle and work toward ending racism. We need justice. No one's name should be memorialized in hashtags. My hope is that you will use this book as a way to start your journey in the big work of anti-racism. You are resisting racism and oppression just by opening these pages. You are entering into a consciousness that wakes you up and allows you to see the world in a whole new way. Some may tell you you're too young to talk about race. Some people may tell you that you should stop talking about skin color and see everyone as a global citizen. You may have even been told racism isn't a problem anymore and that calling it out or bringing it up in conversation is wrong. Some people may have given you the impression that you are wrong in stirring up trouble. You are not. Racism is a problem, a very serious problem, and it needs to be talked about because it isn't going away if we do nothing. It is okay for you to continue on with this book, and I'm so proud of you for picking this up and opening these pages. Please know that you are not alone in this journey. I am here with you. There are many, many folks who are here with you, who came before you and who will come long after us. I hope you will share this book with your friends and families because fighting racism really isn't something you can do all on your own. Make sure to look up underlined words in the glossary if you need help understanding. Just a note from Ms. Mitchell, I'm going to create a Padlet with all of the words in the glossary and they'll be placed in my MCPS classroom alongside the book. There are many moments to pause in this book so that you can check in with yourself and grow into your activism. You will learn more about yourself, our history, how racism came to be, and why we're still so deep within it. We will work together in solidarity to disrupt racism and become anti-racist accomplices. This book is meant to be read in order. Each chapter builds on the previous chapter, and you will gain a deeper understanding of becoming your anti-racist self. And you will probably want to read and reread this. This is a start. Anti-racism is lifelong work. In solidarity, Tiffany. Anti-racist. An anti-racist person is someone who is opposed to racism. Anti-racism is actively working against racism. It is making a commitment to resisting unjust laws, policies, and racist attitudes. Anti-racism is how we get free from centuries of living in a racialized society that keeps us separate and oppressed. This section is called Waking Up. Chapter 1 is Who Am I? Understanding and growing into my identities. Chapter 1. Who am I? Who are you? You are you. You are the only you there is. There's so much that makes you who you are. Your identity is what makes you, you. It's all the parts that make you unique. You're made up of your family, your friends, your neighborhood, your school, what you see on social media and read in books, what you hear and listen to, what you eat, what you wear, what you feel, your dreams, the stories you cannot wait to share, and those you don't want to tell, and everything in between and all around. You are everything. Within you and everything that surrounds you. You are all the ancestors who came before you, those you've never known, never heard of, never seen, and those you've passed on the street, sat next to, and snuggled near. I'm sure you've asked, who am I? And others have asked, who are you? How do you answer? How much of yourself do you share with others, if anything? This is who I was at 14. I'm Tiffany. I'm 14 years old. I live in a small house in New York State. I live with my mom and my twin sister. I'm a Black biracial cisgender female who has brown eyes and a lot of freckles. I have curly hair and I have grown to love it slowly over time. I love to read and bake, and love to dance with my friends and write terrible poetry that only I will ever read. That is who I am, and I'm so much more. You get to decide which identities you will share with the world and how you'll do so. You get to choose how to name your identities. Your identity grows and changes just like you. There are some things that are static and stay with you always. My skin color and the many freckles on my face have been with me for as long as I can remember and will continue on with me until I'm 103 plus. There are other parts of us that can change, even daily. I can wear my hair up or down, braided or straight. I can change the color and length. It's all up to me. Many others will try to get you to fit into an imaginary box. This box includes what we call the dominant culture. If you're white, upper middle class, cisgender male, educated, athletic, neurotypical, and or able-bodied, you are in this box. We'll go through all of these in the next chapter. If you do not fit into this box, you are considered to be part of what is called the subordinate culture. Folks included in the subordinate culture include Black, brown, indigenous people of color of the global majority, queer, transgender, and non-binary folks, and cisgender women, youth, Muslim, Jewish, Buddhist, atheist, and non-Christian folks, neurodiverse folks, folks living with disabilities, those living in poverty, and many more. There are many more who exist outside of this imaginary box than those who can fit inside of it. The dominant culture is what has been considered normal, and this normal has been created and is maintained by those who are in the box. It is this version of normal that has shaped how we see ourselves and the world around us. Who is smart, beautiful, worthy, a leader, trouble? Many labels and descriptions have been created so it seems like people either fit neatly into the box or not. I never really did, and you don't need to either. Our many identities make us who we are. They help others to understand who you are and help you to know more about the folks who are in your life and in the world. They connect us and divide us. Understanding who you are allows you to grow and know more about yourself. It can give you direction and empower you. The world will try to tell you who you are, but you are the only person who gets to decide that. You have the right to be seen and understood without having to compromise who you are. So this is where you're going to do the activity that's in my MCPS classroom. So you're going to pull out your reflection journal, and of course it's going to be something you're going to be coming back to. And for 5 minutes, write down everything you can think of that makes you who you are. So you're creating a list of identities, just a list. All the things that make you you. So the author said she was female, cis female, black biracial, light-skinned, a twin, a daughter, a first-generation American, a bread breaker, freckled, tall and thin, a sister, curly-haired, English and American, an English speaker, a side sleeper, allergic, a reader, a creator, glasses wearer, a comfy clothes wearer, a chocolate lover, stubborn, resistant, optimistic, an extrovert who needs some recharge time, always cold, a drama kid, always right, at least I want to be, confusing to others. So that's what the author wrote in her identity map. All the words and phrases she felt that related to her. In your identity map, I want you to write all the phrases and words that relate to you, that create your identity. And the Flipgrid is going to be you sharing that identity map. So if you don't want to write words, if you want to represent your identity in a visual way, you can do that as well. We'll leave that open to you and your creativity, but you want to make sure that your identity map relates to all the parts of you. So don't leave anything out, because we want to know everything. We want to know each other very well, because the more comfortable we feel with each other, the more willing we'll be able to take risks. So we're going to stop our reading of chapter 1 right here. Thank you for listening. I know it was a long one with the author's note, but I know you're going to be learning a whole lot about how to become an anti-racist here. I'm so excited for all of you. See you soon.